everybody. Welcome to Darkside of the Spoon with yours truly, Bones Calhoun and Mr. Johnny Rottenseed. We are going to be filming videos where you are going to get that raw, real, uncut shit. That real talk about recovery. Stuff that some people don't want to say, stuff that some people don't want to hear. But on this show, you're going to hear it. So we're going to do a couple introductions, kind of tell you a little bit about ourselves, and go from there. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Johnny Rottenseed.
Thanks, Bones. As my man was saying, this show right here is going to be about the stuff that you don't hear. This ain't treatment talk. This ain't 12-step talk. This is about that real life shit that everybody knows, but nobody is talking about, and we want to bring it to you guys so you have a real understanding. And like he said, it's that good, that bad, that ugly, ugly, ugly shit of recovery. That real stuff that needs to be talked about, that everybody's trying to avoid when it comes to medical stuff and 12-step stuff. Everybody avoids this stuff, and we're wanting to bring it up to you. So a little introduction of myself. I have 12 years of opioid addiction, stemming from anything from pain pills to heroin, but I was an equal opportunity user. If I could use it, I would. That includes things besides drugs, like people, women, anything I could get my hands on that made me feel better about me, I would use. I got about 4.5 years clean. I work in the treatment field. I've worked in the treatment field for about 3 years now, and I found that working in the field, there's a whole lot of stuff that doesn't get talked about. And so that's why we decided to do this. We got an open platform and the ability to really reach out to you guys and say some real shit, some raw shit, the stuff that you guys know that nobody's talking about, and hopefully the goal is to maybe help a few people along the way. So if you guys like what we're doing here, I'm already going to go ahead and say it. Please like, subscribe, and share this shit. Give it to your other friends who are in recovery. Get this stuff spreading around. And whenever we start covering topics and stuff like that, we're both ramblers. So we may start at one place and go way to the left side, but hopefully we're always going to be hitting some real shit that you guys really feel deep down. Bones, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Bones Calhoun. I'm not going to go into how much clean time I got, this and that. What I'm going to say is I'm clean today. I'm not in jail today either. I am super militant about my recovery. It is my life, and it will be my life for the rest of my life. Done a lot of bad shit, as most of y'all probably have, in addiction. But now my passion, if you've seen any other video I made, my passion is speaking to addicts, recovering addicts, people still in addiction, about how I maintain my sobriety, because it works for me. My way might not work for you, but for me it does. So I just like to talk about willpower and the want and desire for sobriety, because if you don't have that shit, you will not stay sober. You have to want it. I don't care how many steps you work or how many meetings you go to. If you don't want sobriety, you're not going to stay sober. That's just the way it is. So that's what this is about. We are not doing this to benefit us. We're not doing this to promote and sell anything. We're literally doing this because there's a lot of motherfuckers out there dying on this shit. It's an epidemic. Fuck a pandemic. It's just an epidemic, man. And people need to address it. And we are going to be here to not only answer questions if you got questions, but just to keep it real with you, man. Because there's not a lot of people keeping it real with people nowadays. Everybody's PC. We're not PC, and we never will be. And so, a little disclaimer about what we're going to be doing. If you are in any way sensitive to facts or our opinions or other people's opinions, then I would suggest turning the video off and not paying attention. Because if you don't want to hear realness and that raw shit, you ain't going to like us. But understand this, the things that we say in these videos come from the heart. We're doing it because we give a shit. We don't have to take time out of our day to speak to people in addiction, but we've been there and we care. We give a fuck, and that's why we're here to speak to you and to answer your questions. And we've both been doing this for a bit now, and we're going to continue to do it with y'all's support. So like he said, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that. There's going to be plenty more videos coming, and we'll pick a topic. And if y'all got topic suggestions, Message one of us. Let us know.
One of the things I want to talk about too is how I look at recovery. And like I said, this isn't about 12-step shit. This ain't about treatment shit. This is something very, very different. It's about taking your life and making recovery a part of that, however that looks to you. And so one of the big things for me, you'll hear me talk about a lot, is the path. The path is important to me. The path is who I want to be and what goal I want. Now, a lot of us, when we first get clean, a month, 2 months in, we think we have these goals and ideas of what we want to be. Some guy sitting in a treatment center is like, I want to run a sober living house, or I want to live in a sober, or want to own a sober living house at 3 months clean. Man, at 3 months clean, I just didn't want to be a piece of shit anymore. I had a lot to figure out for myself. So we want to make these goals obtainable, and we want to stay on the path towards who we eventually want to be. The path is like this. If I go to a national forest that I've never been to before, and I'm out here on this hiking trail, if I decide to take off on a different section that's not a part of the trail, I'm probably going to get lost. I've never been here before. So the same thing happens in life. I keep this picture of who I want to be, what my goals are, and I stay on the path towards those. Anything that comes into my life that isn't helping me obtain that or get to be who I want to be, I fucking get rid of it, right? I got to cut that shit out, and I got to stay on the path. You're going to hear me talk about the path a lot. There's other people out there talking about the path because it's real life. It's who do I want to be? How the fuck do I get there? That shit is important to each and every one of us. And one of the major things that I'm hoping that me and Bones cover here is that this is about life. It's not about treatment. It's not about this or that. It's life. So we may end up covering other topics as we're going through, because recovery becomes life. You obtain stuff, you get better things. Sometimes you hit periods of, I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore, like I'm sure everybody feels right now in the middle of this COVID-19 thing. None of us seen this coming. However, we're still having to deal with it. We're still having to stay clean. We're still having to go to work. Why? Because we're on the path. We got to get to who we want to be. This shit is vital, guys. And like he said, it's going to be raw. It's going to be covered in a way that a lot of people aren't going to like. My language is foul. My man's language is foul, of course. And we're just going to give it to y'all exactly how it was given to me, how I talk, just some real ass shit.
Absolutely. One thing I did want to touch on real quick, you know, like Johnny brought up, this COVID-19 shit. Everybody's in quarantine. Everybody, you know, people in treatments and this and that. Everybody's like, man, this sucks. I can't get out and do nothing. Fuck that. Listen, if you are quarantined, use that shit to your advantage. How often in the real world do you got a bunch of time to sit and focus on yourself and your goals? Not a lot. Unless you just don't work and you sit at home on the couch like a piece of shit when you could go out and get a job. But listen, take this time right now to focus on your goals. Like he said, man, have goals and work on them. Don't spend this time to build resentments. Build strength. Build mental toughness. That's how you're going to survive. Use this time to do that. Write down shit. Write down your goals. Fuck, work out if you don't work out. If you ain't going to get your mind together, get your body together. Do something. Don't sit and waste this time, man. Don't waste any time. As recovering addicts and or addicts, we don't have time. Time is not a luxury that we really have. We have to use all of our time wisely. Always. That's it. That's just life in general, man. That's just not for recovery. This is life. Use your time wisely. You know? So take this time of being cooped up and do something about your damn self. You know what I mean?
I think a big thing that needs to be talked about first and foremost is all these treatments and all these programs that are out there. They're all lined up for exactly the same thing. It's don't be a bitch. Take an honest look at yourself and make the changes that need to be made. So you might be able to stay clean and be successful in your life. See, the problem is with addicts, anytime something gets hard, we want to fucking quit. And then quitting becomes a bad-ass habit that we don't want to break. This shit ain't easy. Life, guess what? It ain't fucking easy, man. It's hard. Each and every day, a person has to get up, go to work, deal with their kids, pay the bills. I get a whole ass check and all my money's gone because I got to pay bills. Now what do? Well, I can't buy them Jordans, or I can't buy this, or I can't buy that. So what? It's fucking life, man. That's how this shit goes. So you need to get a firm understanding. It ain't about all the outside shit. It ain't about running this house. It ain't about gaining this. It ain't about gaining that. It's right here. It's what's going on inside of me. If I can get this shit together, everything else will work out. So remember, don't be a bitch. Take an honest look at yourself and get your shit together.
Amen. Do not be a bitch. Remember that. Okay? And yeah, you know what? A lot of people, man, they think too far ahead. You know, I talk to people every day, especially people that are in recovery. They're like, man, I want a car, I want a job, I want a house, I want to be doing this, I want to be doing that. I'm like, dog, you're doing too much. Focus on today. Because you have today. You don't have tomorrow. You don't know if you got tomorrow. Nobody knows if they got tomorrow. Fucking don't squander your days and your precious time, man. You know, set your goals and achieve them. Make, you know, like you said, man, life is fucking monotonous. As an adult, it's monotonous. Treatment's monotonous. All this shit's monotonous, but it's life, man. Embrace that shit. Do something with it. Don't waste it. Too short. I'm sure if you're, you know, you probably know somebody that's died of an overdose. You know what I mean? Young. Life wasted. I'm going to quit preaching at you today, but remember everything we said here. Really take it to heart because it's coming from our hearts. You understand?
Y'all don't forget, like, subscribe, share this shit, and let's get passionate about recovery and get to some real ass talk. I hope to see you guys back. Remember, share this shit. We would really appreciate it. And hopefully some people get something out of this. And in the future videos, we will be covering topics. Thank you guys for your time.